All right, it is currently 1:48 p.m. You'll see the images that I took of what is engineered light, impossible light activity, both on the placement of the light source on the outside of a building where the sun is above us on the outside of buildings. The sun's not inside of the building. The sun projects light at a downward trajectory, which would create shade inside of the building. What you're looking at is impossible light activity, and it's the shape of the triangular shape. While engineered light is necessarily coming down at a downward trajectory and necessarily horizontally inside at a downward trajectory. That's how you get impossible light activity that is concentrated. All right, this is light that's being in, this is not sunlight. And this is distinct from what is the light source, the evidence that Holiday Inn is group stalking here in Victorville. You already know that because I'm standing underneath street lamps and I had 3 shadows that were moving all around my person. That's not the light activity. That is the product of standing underneath artificial light. That's engineered light, and so is this. This is engineered light. This is an engineered environment. In other words, where you see Palmdale Road, those are demons who are pacing, and the sound of traffic, that's demonic pacing, is amplified inside of this hotel room while the fake sun is directly over me. You also know that this is the specific environment and that this is impossible light activity because the light source is at 1:46 p.m. in this same position over the top of my head at 408 West G Street in Ontario, California. That is apartment number 51 as I stand in front of Tracy Banks's front door, and I capture that light source over me, and that's after capturing substantial video at 1:30 p.m. And that was before I captured substantial video at 12:31 p.m. where, just like the Victorville Police Department, which is the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, that is specifically Randy German, who is a terrorist leader who was going to be plucked out of the position that he's currently holding for somebody else who doesn't serve Satan, who's not engaged in public corruption with the rest of those demons who are going to be criminally prosecuted for federal stalking and state surveillance as it's underway in Victorville, where you saw the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department exhibiting demon possession while flying in circles over me in this parking lot, where you can see the fake sun is. That's where the demons are pacing in helicopters. That's exactly what you saw on video last night. And you know that this is the specific environment, speaking to demons who are stalking in helicopters, demons who are stalking on Palmdale Road, monitoring a woman in a hotel room. By the way, that's a massive sex offense that the state of California is going to be prosecuted for. And these are indeed demons, while the light source remains over me, and they are pacing around in the engineered environment where impossible light activity is inside of my hotel room, a sex offense. And the entity is also keeping a fake sun over my hotel room that is speaking to the specific environment that is not capable of having the sun in this same position in Ontario over Woodside Senior Apartments, where, by the way, the evidence shows the fake sun remaining from 7:18 in the morning until 6:22 p.m., never moving, remaining as I remain stationary at that address, which is the specific environment, not the natural environment, where the entity's keeping a fake sun. You also know that this isn't the sun because here at this address, as I stepped outside of the front doors, the fake sun is still here at 4 p.m., where you're looking at the fake sun in perfect alignment with the entrance, where Alfredo, the one that is on the podcast, who's going to federal prison, group stalking with Randy German of the Victorville Police Department, San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, while he is inside of this hotel that's engaged in state surveillance and federal stalking with the state of California, for which all of the employees of Holiday Inn are going to federal prison while this crime scene remains, and you are criminally engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring maliciously on behalf of the state. A whole population is keeping a woman under surveillance, acquainted with everything personal and private that's occurring inside of this private space, which is my hotel room, including when my panties are down. It's public information, including with regard to my being in the shower and everything occurring in that shower. It's public information, and this is a massive sex offense that Randy German, an exposed sex offender and a demon-possessed group stalker with a corrupt terrorist organization masquerading as a law enforcement agency, having any authority under the law and criminally misusing their access to helicopters, not to engage in what is anything lawful or within their execution of their duties. They're engaged in state surveillance, and they serve Satan in doing so. It's entirely criminal, and it's absolutely demonic. While they are group stalking with the people of the state, Alfredo and Ray, the maintenance supervisor, and Maddie and everybody else working for Holiday Inn at 15494 at Palmdale Road in Victorville, California, which is not over my head, at apartment number 51 at 408 West G Street in Ontario, California, the Woodside Senior Apartments. Everybody at Holiday Inn's going to federal prison, including the last 3 demons whose name I just uttered. All right. The people of the state are engaging in criminal presence in the path. SKYTECH is one of many sex offenders, by the way, inclined to engage in sexual violence while group stalking a woman in a hotel room. This is the same entity that is inclined, predisposed. You need to know the risk that they serve. This is the population that engages in sexual violence, such as having sex with minors, such as engaging in things such as sexually violating minors, violating even adults, men and women. The sex offenders that are group stalking are the same exact sex offenders that are predisposed. You do have warning. You can identify such threats to people that exist with regard to the exposing federal group stalking and monitoring, which, by the way, sex offenders are working for the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, keeping me under surveillance. And I am continuously identifying them by name while public corruption is occurring on their watch. And they are going to federal prison, okay? The San Bernardino County Probation Department is group stalking feet away. They're engaged in state surveillance. Those are also sex offenders. That's a state facilitating venue, and they will be prosecuted as well. Engaging in the sex offense together in a specific environment where there is no sunlight that's going to appear under any circumstances, but you also know with regard to logic that the sun that's over door 51 at 1:46 in the afternoon on video is not creating any sunlight inside the hotel room in Victorville, California, while I'm on the 4th floor facing Palmdale Road, the same venue where the fake sun remains, however, in conformity to the specific environment. The crime scene where federal group stalking and monitoring is underway, but not the natural environment where anything free and constitutionally protected activity is underway. This is the prosecution of the state. The state of California is the violent sex offender, and so are the sex offenders who are the people of the state. This is P.O.C.